Let's get started with today's Monday morning message. Today, we're talking about balancing life. Monday morning message on balancing life. Firstly, I want to speak about why balance life. Why balance life? You see, there was an era for a lot of us and a lot of our parents or grandparents and their generation where survival was the biggest thing in their life. Where putting food on the plate was the biggest and the only thing in their life. This may be your parents' generation, this may be 4 generations ago, this may be 2 generations ago. But there was a time when there was an era of survival. People had to survive, people had to work to survive. And hence people went to work. And all they knew was work. Because in order to survive, you got to work and you got to put food on the table. You got to work and put food on the table. You got to work and put food on the table. And that was the zone. Work, work, work. Only career or work was the primary focus in life. And people gave all their priority to work. People did not focus on health, and that's why they got sick after work. That's why still till today, it's considered if you want to be a great worker, you almost got to compromise your health. If you become a fantastic CEO, you must have some kind of stomach ulcer. Just kidding. But you see, there was an era where survival was the number one thing, and hence work became the only priority. But for most and all of us, that survival mode, if you're watching this video, is gone. We're in an era where survival is almost taken care of. And now we've entered a place where we work for meaning. We go to the workplace for meaning. We live life for the experience of it as well, not just to survive and put food on the table. And hence, now we can speak about balancing life, and now balancing life becomes important. Now balancing life becomes important because we're not in the era of just surviving, but we're wanting to live life more holistically, and we now start thinking about experiencing life. So that is why balancing life, because you will always feel this lack of fulfillment if you just focus on work and you don't put your effort and time in other aspects of life. How to balance life? See, I would say for now, let's pick 4 major areas in our life. Health, wealth, where you could put work, financial, everything in this bracket. Relationships and mindset, peacefulness. How do you feel within yourself? Let's pick these 4 buckets in your life, and I want you to think, how much do you rate yourself out of 10 on each of these areas? Health, how's your health? How healthy are we? Second, wealth, which is also important, financial success, career, etc. Where do we stand there? 3, relationships. How are our relationships? How happy are we with our relationships, and all kinds of relationships, that of being a son or a daughter or a brother or a sister, of being a romantic partner, all relationships. How happy are we with our relationships? And last, peacefulness, our mindset. I would say our mindset. How is our mind? How is our mental state? How is our mental way of being? These are 4 important aspects of our life to balance our life. Most of us are skewed. We are either just such health freaks that we don't focus at all on building our relationships, that we don't focus on financial success, right? What's the point of having a fantastic chiseled body but you having no money to even buy an underwear? Right? Most people are skewed all the way towards financial success. They have compromised their health, they've compromised their relationships, and after they earn a lot of money, they look for meaning in their life and they realize they work so much for their family, but now they don't even have the relationship with their family to enjoy that wealth. Right? So the idea of balancing life is filling in making these buckets, all four buckets above. Most people are in the mindset of this or that, health or wealth, relationships or wealth, peace or relationships, mental peace or relationships. But here I'm saying, don't live an or life, start living an and life. I want health, wealth, relationships, and good mindset, good mental state, all four of them, because I don't want to live an or life. I want to live an and life. And let me assure you, and life is possible, as in how time goes by, time is going, people are researching this and they are finding it is definitely possible to live all four holistically. Imagine you're in grade 8 and you have four subjects. You have math, English, science, and computers. Math, English, science, computers. What's the point of scoring 100 in math and then failing in all of them? Will you ever pass grade 8? You will probably not. But what I'm trying to say is, it's okay, maybe if we don't score 100 on one subject, what if we score 80 on all? We don't want 100 in one and compromise the rest of them. We want to score 80 on all, but we want to get at least decent average marks to score and live a holistic life, because there's no point living a skewed life. And that's how we balance life, my friends. Investing in all four of these buckets, not just one. There's so much more to talk about this topic, but I thought I would share this with you right now.
Akash, what do you think about balancing life? I know we connected on Instagram, and you were really interested about this topic. So what do you think about balancing life?
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you for having me on your show. And yeah, I'd love to talk about this. I think it's really important in terms of, the way you live your life. I think you mentioned health, wealth, relationships, and
Relationships. Yeah, correct.
before. Okay. Yeah, I think each of those are, really, really important. And I think not everybody is going to weigh each of them equally. And I think we as, individuals are different. Every person differs from one another. And so depending on who you are, you'll definitely weight some of those more than the others. But I think it's important to have some aspect of all of those four in your life. And I think, yeah, that's kind of my viewpoint on it. For me personally, I think, achieving balance is something that's definitely possible, more so if you're, doing things that you love and doing so with, meaningful thought while taking care of your mental health, I think, because those are things that will, keep moving you forward. And if that kind of forms the core identity of who you are, then it's much easier to, function outside that core identity as well.
That's amazing. So how do you balance your life? And I know music is a big part of it. So how do you relate that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the core part of it is making sure that music is kind of the core tenet and central part of my life, and kind of building around that, because I know what's most excuse me, I know what's most important to me, and I think for that is very obviously music for me. And so I think I build my happiness around that. And so, for example, I currently am a marketing professional in the energy industry, and that is a source of income, and that kind of takes the wealth part out of it. And I'm very fortunate to be comfortable, and I'm very fortunate to be have a steady source of income in this kind of economy, in this kind of a global pandemic. We're going through a tough time in society, I think, just as a global society. And I think very, very fortunate to have that. And so when I'm doing that work, that is, that's what I focus on. I think that kind of brings up, being able to, practice discipline in whatever you're doing. Like if you're doing something, that should be kind of your focus. And if you're not focused, take a step back, take a breather, refocus, and go back. And I think, that kind of approach helps. So that's kind of, the wealth side of it. Health, I try to, stay healthy, eat healthy, exercise whenever, on a regular basis, however much as possible, without overdoing it and putting unnecessary stress on my body. And then when it comes to peace and relationships, I think once the other two are settled, it's easier to build on that. And so I think something that I've, come to hold far closer to myself, in recent years, is taking care of mental health. And I think if you're able to do that, and you're not, you're not kind of ignoring what you're going through. If you know this is where you are in life, if you're not feeling happy, if you're being fulfilled, if you're not feeling so happy, if you're, going through, depressive periods, I think it's important to recognize that and talk about it, and then try to take corrective steps to try to get to where you want to be, or take the steps to sustain where you are, depending on where you are. And I think doing that while, maintaining, happiness through things that you enjoy is very important. And I think for me, music is that core piece of identity that keeps me going.
Awesome. So, having said that, are we going to get to listen to some of your music? I know you have something prepared for us, and you are going to be singing a song that you personally wrote. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
I've been releasing singles all year. This is the first year I actually, put my music out there, and I think it's been great. It's been very, fun to see people listening to it. I'm very, very, I feel very grateful and humbled that people have been listening. So yeah, I have this song called "Happy for a Day," which kind of, it'll speak for itself. But this is the first single that I released this year. The sun is shining down, I feel the light. Fleeing from the daily 9 to 5. In the park until it's dark, we somehow lost our way. Why don't we pretend to be happy for a day? Happy for a day. The air is cooling down, another fall. Our stories running out, we've heard them all. Scarlet wine at 9:30, drink our thoughts away. Why don't we pretend to be happy for a day? Happy for a day.
Beautiful.
The rain is pouring down my windowsill. I'm drunk and I'm alone, I feel you still. Come to me so gently, you don't have to stay. Why don't we pretend to be happy for a day? Happy for a day. Why don't we pretend to be happy for today?
Wow. Gosh, that was beautiful. It is self-composed. That shows a lot of talent. That shows a lot of talent that you have. I love the lyrics. I love the guitar part, and really the song speaks about getting over with the 9 to 5. Okay, work is done. What else are you doing? The rain is pouring. You want somebody to come by you. Taking care of all the aspects of our life and living a great balanced life. Because happy days lead to happy weeks. Happy weeks lead to a happy month. A happy month leads to a happy year, and many happy years leads to a happy life. So
Sure.
happy birthday is the key. Superb. Thank you so much for being part of this and coming sharing with us a beautiful piece of song and also your thoughts on balancing life.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Wishing you a fantastic week and a week full of balance in your life. Thank you, Akash.
Thank you very much.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Guys, that was the Monday morning message on balancing life. The four buckets that we gotta balance: health, wealth, relationships, and mindset, mental peace, whatever you call it. But our mental framework, that's the four buckets that we gotta fill to live a good and balanced life. And then we had Akash join us with a beautiful song, Happy for a Day. Guys, wishing you a powerful, full, balanced week. Do something in one of these four areas that are lacking. If you want a long phone call with a friend that you're missing to help, fill that relationship bucket. Or if you haven't worked out in a long time, go to the gym. Maybe go for just a nature stroll. If you haven't meditated or if you haven't listened to a beautiful song in solitude for your mental health, for your mental peace, go do that. Or apply for a job if you're looking for a job and build that wealth or career bracket, whatever it is. Wishing you a powerful, balanced week. Much love. I will see you next week, same time, same location. Until then, cheers.